Well, people, this is Minnesota. I've had some people asking me what it looks like around where I live. This isn't my town, but it's around where I live, so I don't know. Maybe I'd give you guys an idea. Not a bad place. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to live here my entire life, but definitely could be worse. Very, I don't know why, but Minnesota has this thing with naming. I mean, there's streets that are minerals. I've seen everything from barium to iodine and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Tells me that the stuff probably found around here, though. I'm not going to drive very far, but I'm going to just go for a little spin around. Yep, I'll have to kind of do like autumn colors to her eventually here. my old church. The bridge. Yeah, what do you know? Is that my old church? Literally, my old church? Well, like, what I mean is that, like, they sold the building at one point. They were renting it or something like that. Yeah, I'd go for a longer drive, but I don't want to waste a bunch of gas. I drove like an hour yesterday, so. Tried getting a video, but the echo was too bad because I forgot to mute it, so every bunch of feedback coming through, and it just sounded really bad. So, hopefully this will be better. So yeah, I don't know. This is what I mean. I live in a small town, in a city, but it's not really a city in my opinion. Maybe compared to the hillbilly towns around it, but still pretty much out in the sticks. And by hillbilly, I don't mean anything against that for people. It's just more in the middle of nowhere. Now let's go back to town and get some food. And at home, I guess. No, look at it. Probably slow down in here. A lot of people dying. Not so much right at this area, but once we get up to Lake Norris. Well, people just don't walk safely there, and people don't ever anticipate who's going to be walking there, so it's kind of an ultra deadly mixture. Why is there a dam? I guess I'm just trying to figure out why they would put a bench to sit on when there's no path. Kind of silly. And it doesn't appear to be attached to the dock either, additionally. So yeah, this is Lake Norris. On the other side over there, I doubt you can see it, but that's where I used to work. That's far on. Probably one of the biggest shitholes you could ever send your kid to. So, if you're ever there, don't send a kid there. It's basically like torture, at least to some extent. Depending on the kid, too, but I don't know. If they don't like your kid much, then they just don't treat your kid very well, so. I used to go hang out over here with my friends. We saw like a UFO over here. Ooh, 0 deaths. Yeah, we do have deaths here. Unfortunately. I mean, it could be worse. But obviously there's deaths everywhere. But I'm saying, like, vehicle-related deaths, things like that. I don't know. Our lighting setup is getting better, but it's not very good. Because they're like $1 billion, well, not really that expensive, but super expensive police station is, but again, I don't know. My problem with the cops isn't so much that they have a police station, it's that anytime I've ever had to call them, they don't show up for like a fucking hour, and it's like, well, I've literally reported a kid being abducted before, and it took them like an hour to even fucking respond to me. And then another time I was driven off the road, and they didn't even bother getting a hold of me. Like, I had to literally harass them, and then like another county called me to talk to me because some people in town were just too fucking lazy to do anything apparently. Again, that's not every cop, but it tells you kind of at least at that point in time, like 6 years ago, when the police force was like this. But I don't know. I guess maybe it's getting better, hypothetically, but we're gonna get some rain. I used to work at the McDonald's here, that place. Well, for the first job, it wasn't too bad, but the problem came into it was like the politics and honestly just corruption that took place there. But again, if you were sitting entry level, you were pretty much good, but just never try to go anywhere above that in that corporation. Well, I don't know if they're fine, but I don't know. The more you do for them, the more they fuck you over. That's any job, but more so corporations that have no souls. So. Takalapiu. I will be back momentarily. I'm not even gonna turn my camera off yet, please. I'll be back in a moment. I'm back. If you can't tell. Left
sitting next to you, you like some red people sitting next to you. You think I did not get me sitting next to you. But after all I said, please don't forget.
Trying to think of anything else I can show you guys over there. Even take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Get started now. You don't have to be abused. So basically, I'm not going to say everywhere where I found those stones, but this is ultimately the area where I found these stones being spread across. Like, this is not a place where you would find uber like stones like that by any means, as you can tell. There's very little natural rock here, and the little natural rock that is here basically right across the road from me, and it's the size of about 400-pound boulders. So that's why. I don't know. I would say there's like no natural rock here, but you're not going to find anything resembling a carbonaceous meteorite here, unless it's a carbonaceous mountain.
This is 93X.
Follow it! So I'm going to go up through a church here. This is where I used to go to school when I was little. Also went to church here, obviously. Changed quite a bit, but again, not always bad history, but I also had a lot of bullies here. I kind of seem to be the same bullshit, but it's mainly who I am, though. Strong-willed person, and I don't know, I believe in doing things correctly, being good to people. Let's probably get out of here. They don't know me anymore. Even when I'm just passing through and stuff. But I touched it. Yellow car on the left. These are just some of the places I like driving around, honestly. These days. Big boulders. That's what you find around here. Big boulders are little tiny companies. But that particular area is all excavated because they put in buildings there. They have sport fields. They have everything, you know. I know the area because I've literally searched there hundreds of times. So obviously, when I see it 100 times and there's nothing there, and then a bunch of shit shows up, I wonder. That's what started the whole thing, basically. I found some pieces up to like 5 miles away. Granted, it's only like really small pieces. And I'm personally going to give myself the argument that it could be something of a cult, like a slag or something. So I'm not really counting that particular piece 100%. But I have found stuff out in the Stroomfield area that I'm talking, at least a few miles. And I don't question that much, although it was a very small amount. I'm pretty sure when it comes to that meteorite, the biggest problem is more than likely that, what was I going to say? Oh, I have a lot of water around me. Like, I'm going to go to a river. We passed over a bridge earlier. I think maybe that's the river. This river is north. No, okay, yeah, no, never mind. There's a bridge in town. I'll show that one when you're passing it. But, yeah. This is one of the boat races. But this is showing you the water that we have. We have a river right here, that lake right back there. North of town, we have a couple rivers, or not, well, yes, a river, but a couple lakes. And then, like east of here, we also have lakes. So all around this town is just lakes. So more than likely, if anything big were accompanying this, it either went into the ground or right into the water. So, I don't know.
Hey, this is Tiffany with Rebel Queens, and you are listening.
For the record, for anyone that watches these, I do not make money off of these films.
93X.
Truthfully, if I ever made anything, I planned on making an equal donation of whatever I made to the local area. And it's all my area, you know? Nobody bothered taking the time to research these things. Even with the time that I do, I will go and get slacked. So I suppose I'm not going to feel bad about researching something for my community. It's not like I'm driving around a Ferrari. I'm driving a 2002 Ford. So I probably whatever. Yep, it's one of a Ford accent. I don't know, come on. Not so much anymore of it. I don't know how much time has passed, but it feels like forever. No one tells you that forever feels like home, sitting all alone inside your head. How much is real? So much question. An epidemic of the mannequins, contaminating everything. Never from the heart. Never did right from the start. Should listen to the noises. Long before the sad voices. Before you tell yourself it's just a different scene. Remember, it's just different from what you see. Well, we're about done here. I'm just turning back to my camera now. I'll probably show you guys the last couple places here. Turn my camera off so I can go home and not have to do it basically. Seems to be the smart thing to do. I don't know, it's not that everybody out there is crazy, but there's a lot of crazy fucking people out there. Like, I just had a guy the other day tell me that I should be the next charger. Like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do this dude? I didn't even go in the stream and try to be pulling on. People can't handle that shit. Fucking psychos. Anyways. Believe me, I'd report the person if I could, but I'm pretty sure that they're just full of shit anyways. People love to fucking feed off of that shit. Plus, at this point, they wouldn't know where I am. So, well, not without having some sort of technological edge, which I'm pretty sure they don't have, otherwise. They probably wouldn't be sitting online harassing people. Feels like home, sitting all alone inside your head. So looking at you through the glass, don't know how much time has passed. It feels like forever. No one tells you that forever feels like home, sitting all alone inside your head. So, but the argument for these stones is also that there's like a foundry here where we're working with coal and stuff. It's like, no, there's not. Closest thing that would happen to that would be like Bethel, which is a good distance from here. I'm sure as fuck when it's showing up randomly like 150 years later, like Professor Time. So you guys don't have to be the judge, but that's generally the gist of it. The shit blew up over this entire fucking area.